Welcome in. It is day 253, and you're speaking to the Meeples Champion. And today we're going to be going over a game that is one I really want to give another try to. I didn't hate this game, but when we first had it brought out in my old game group, it just wasn't what I necessarily got that into. I think part of the issue was it wasn't my game, so I wasn't diving in and reading through all the different characters. And the other part was that the friend who bought it had some home game rules on it that when I look back at it now, I realize how much I really got annoyed by those rules and how they prevented me from loving the game. The game is called Cosmic Encounters. Now, the idea is that there are loads of different races, and you can get lots of additions extra to this game to keep adding more and more races in. So you come in and you basically start the game off where you have, I believe it's 10 different, essentially like saucers, representatives of your species. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to, between attacking and trading, all these different types of things you can do, you're trying to gather other people's, and by doing so eventually reach a certain number. I want to say it's 10 that are not your own, and when you do so, you win the game. Now, the rule that my friend set was when you're making an alliance with somebody else, you couldn't do more than a 1-for-1 trade. That annoyed me. And the reason that annoyed me was, one, somebody who was further behind. You know, if somebody was sitting there and they were at 8, and somebody else was there and they're like, I got 2. And that person at 8 can't get anybody to trade with them, and they're having a lot of trouble because they're getting locked out. Well, that's the perfect opportunity for somebody way behind to say, listen, I'll get you to 9, but I need 3. And all of a sudden, this person who's losing because they're like, well, I'm at 2, and now they're at 6, 7, 7, and that one's over there at 8. Now I can push him to 9. He's closer, but I'm all the way up to 5. I'm catching up to people. And I think that that's an extremely important piece. Another one being that 2 people who are further behind can say, you know what? Let's do this big trade 2 for 2, 3 for 3. Now, to do that straight up, maybe there does need to be a rule, and maybe there is. It's not like I owned the game. I wasn't reading through these instructions regularly. But maybe there is something that prevents from somebody doing that, because it would be unfortunate if a player was ahead at 9 and all of a sudden 2 players who were at 2 and 2 did like a 5 for 5 trade and were like right on you. Like, that would be pretty annoying. That being said, the game is all about positioning. How are you going to take advantage of your abilities, the cards that you're getting that give you additional abilities or one-time use abilities, protective abilities, offense abilities, you know, helping you to snake in there and steal a victory in a fight that you weren't even a part of. It's a fun little game. I say little, but it's huge. It's a big game. It's by a lot considered one of the better games in a lot of people's collections. And it's one that I haven't played it in over a decade now, and I want to again. I really want to get this one back to my table. I need to go find an edition, pick it up, and try to play this. I think this is one that I would really enjoy again today, and I think it's one that I would be willing to go buy some expansions for so I could get some real variation to the characters. It's just one I need to try again first before I go invest the money into it. That being said, why don't we jump into our 7 categories and see where this one lands for us today. When it comes to the art, I think the inside the box art is far superior. I love the individual players that you have and their characters and the art of who they are, the setup, the design. Everything is really nice for if you're at a board game store, if you're at a convention, if you go online and you're looking at how to play and you see this setup, it grabs the eyes. The box, I don't think detracts the eyes. I personally do like the box. I don't think it's amazing, but it's a solid 3, maybe even a 3.5 out of 5. But I think that a lot of people outside of myself think higher of the box than me. I don't think that the box has any detractors. I think it does a good job. I'm going to give it a thumbs up. Your components. So the game is a combination of your cards, your players, which can be your player board, and then a lot of plastics because of your ships and everything else that you have. Again, I wouldn't call them minis, but good plastic pieces. I think it's all very good quality. Thumbs up. Your price. This game's no cheaper than $50, but you're probably looking more at like a $60 price on this one. you're getting a lot in the game. I want to say it comes with 40 characters to start, so that's a great beginning. And it's one that I think you have plenty of opportunity there, because even if you're playing at your max of 5, if you're getting like 40 characters to start, that means that you are getting loads of opportunity. I don't care if you even only get 10 characters to start. That's plenty of being able to interweave them. The whole idea being that you can have a variable player power that, this guy seemed really bad in the first game, but now because he's here again and 4 new people and he's much better matched against them, suddenly he goes from being the weak character to the power player. That ability to be able to have to read your situation and adapt and see how you can use your player when it's a different combination out on the board, really cool for me. I love that for the pricing that you're getting. Yes, it's a lot of money, but you're getting a lot of game with it. Thumbs up. Your difficulty. It's definitely not for kids. Gotta knock them out right off the bat. I think this is perfect for experts. So big thumbs up their way. So it's that middle area. You're beginners and you're experienced. I think experienced can enjoy this game. I think beginners, it can be a little bit daunting, but give it a try. It's not one that you can't play. It's just one that's going to require you to have to give it a few tries, not to enjoy it, but to understand it. I think you can enjoy it. There's a lot of theme there. It's a lot of fun, especially if you're not playing with people who are way better than you. If you're playing with other beginners, or at least a player who knows how to teach and not take advantage for the victory, I tend to be one of the better teachers in games like this, because I'm not there trying to pick up a win. I'm there trying to make sure you enjoy yourself. Make sure you have the right people teaching you and playing with you for your first couple games. But I don't think this is a game that you have to get through 2 or 3 games to enjoy it. I think you can enjoy it. You just have to get through 2 to 3 games before you have a shot to actually know what you're doing to the point to actually compete for a win. So thumbs up there. Replayability. The game is, I think a realistic game should take over an hour, maybe 90 minutes. I think that it's one that is not going to get replayed in the same night. And personally, while there's a lot of characters there, I think that this is a game that's more so you may not play it for 9 months, and then when you do, you're going to play it like 4 weeks in a row. Because you're going to say, okay, we just got into this game again. All right, let's play again next week. We'll pick new characters. Okay, let's play it again next week. We'll pick new characters. And you go through 3 or 4 weeks, and you do it like that. You have a really good time, and then you take a big break again. And then you come back to it, and you play a whole bunch of changing characters again, and it lets you constantly get this chance that by that 4th week, you feel like you're really starting to get a groove of it. And if you do that, yeah, maybe you only play those 4 weeks in a row once a year, but eventually, a few years in, you're going to start really having a nice run of the game. So for me, I think the replayability is there. Thumbs up. Keys to victory. Are you trying to be nice? Are you trying to make trades with people? Are you trying to team up with somebody and you jump in to protect them or to attack with them? Are you trying to make enemies? Are you trying to make wars between people? What are you doing? There's so much opportunity here to go and get yourself the additional points needed to get the victory. I think there's plenty of keys. Thumbs up. Is the game unique? I mean, there's plenty of expansions for it, and the expansions, I suppose, could probably be played by themselves. I don't think you necessarily have to have the base game to play this game. However, it's all just different characters of the same world, so I don't consider that to be competing with it. It's just an expansion of it. There's no other game that truly does what this does. There's a Game of Thrones version out that's like this, but to me, it's too much of a ripoff. It's not like it's a similar game. It's the exact same game, just Game of Thrones style. That's not to me something that you go and throw at this in the unique style. I could throw this in their face as unique style, but not the other way around. I just don't think that that's a fair comparison for them. When it comes to a game that does what this does, to the level it does, because that Game of Thrones game does not go to the level this one does, there's nothing like it. I think that it does an extremely unique ability of how you play, your characters, how unique they are, the unique matchups. There's nothing like this, and that's why this game is so popular, people, and it's why I want to get it back on a table, try it again, because I really feel like I enjoyed it, but I didn't love it, and I think I should love this game. So thumbs up on the unique. Overall, what do I think? I think it's a great game. You absolutely have to try it, And don't be afraid to go and put a little money out there and pick the game up, because I think it's one that's going to hit for most of you, especially if you're like myself. And I've said this before, I'm a sci-fi fan, yet somehow I don't have a lot of sci-fi games. I'm mostly medieval and fantasy themed games, and I want more sci-fi. And this is a perfect sci-fi game for me, so I want to get more games like this in my collection. Well, it has been day 253, and we've been speaking about the game Cosmic Encounters, and you've been speaking to the Meeples Champion. Like, share, subscribe, and check down below in the description where I'll be adding in an Amazon link in case you want to get this game for your collection. Until next time, I'll talk to you tomorrow.